And I'll give you an example. In today's time, I think maybe the one of the most important mindsets we can have is embracing disruption,
Mm.
right? Like we should crave it. We should thrive on it. We should say, hey, the more disruptive the world gets, the better I do because I'm a learner, I'm a grower. And the problems that disruption bring are really opportunities to serve other people. And there's a great open example. They were interviewing Tom Watson, um, one of the greatest golfers who's ever played. And he won 8 majors, 5 opens. And they said, how did you win so many opens? And he said, bad weather. And they said, what do you mean? And he said, well, when I'm at my peak and I'm playing well, there's only 20 people out of 150 that I have to beat, right? Because he's an elite. He said, but when the wind blows or the temperature changes or the wind direction changes or it gets cold and it gets hot, he said, then I only have to beat 5 because 80, 75% mentally they give up. They let the weather get to him. And so they said, well, how do you prepare for the open? And he said, I pray for rain.
And it's flipping it, isn't it? Because Tom, fear is a huge driver of behavior, right? Change is a big driver of fear. Change, we've been through a lot of change. Uncertainty is what then, it's another sink or swim moment, right? You kind of rise to it, or you can cause such anxiety and you can withdraw. What advice would you give then to people that, how do you make that shift from rather than being fearful of change, embracing disruption? How do you embrace disruption?
Well, there's a lot of things that you can do. One of them is just kind of self-talk. You affirm, hey, I love disruption. If you're leading a team and a competitor moves in or there's an innovation, the market shifts, man, this is fantastic. And I use the bear in the woods story. These 2 hikers were up in Alaska hiking. They hiked all day. They made camp. They're sitting around the campfire. They got their boots off. And this huge grizzly bear comes storming into camp. And the first hiker says, run, run. The bear's going to eat us. And the second hiker just starts putting on his boots and tying them up as fast as possible. And the first hiker says, what are you doing? And the second hiker says, I don't have to outrun the bear. I just got to outrun you. And really, when we get bad news or news that we didn't want, if we can start flipping it into that scenario, we always come out ahead, right? We always are better off than if we get paralyzed or say, woe is me, or this is terrible. One of Dad's famous quotes was, expect the best, prepare for the worst, right? Maximize what comes. And so this unrealistic optimism leaves out prepare for the worst, right? No, we expect the best, we act on the best, but we've got plan B, we've got plan C. And then another quote that goes in there, a positive attitude won't let you do anything, but it will let you do everything better than a negative attitude.